So.
Love your ride, hon.
Hey.
You want me to pull over to the left-hand side?
Yes, please. Dispatch 432-1038, northbound South Rockford Drive. Waiting.
It's my window. There we go. How you doing, Vivian?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for the ID. Appreciate it.
You know, I've been meaning to speak to you, actually.
Me?
We have.
Yeah.
Can you specify for the record whether that's me or Duncan? Because now I'm confused.
No, you, Vivian. I don't think I've seen Duncan in a minute. Yeah. What did I do?
I caught you at 61. Just like as you drove past me. I'm doing a little speed trap. You drove past me at 61 miles per hour.
Yeah. I was trying to go with the flow of traffic. I didn't realize.
No, it's all good. I mean, to be fair, I mean, you broke the speed limit. It just wasn't huge, right?
Yeah.
I definitely don't need 3 backup. Just one's fine. I don't think we're gonna get any trouble. But thank you though.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Wait, they broke off.
It's okay. I'm here, Vivian.
I
know how to talk to Nino if he gets crazy.
I didn't mean for them to both break off, but there we go. I just didn't want to hold people up unnecessarily, you know?
Yeah, makes sense.
Was there any reason other than just trying to keep up with the flow of traffic?
I was just following the flow of traffic. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, run your details, make sure everything's all in order and everything, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, okay?
Sounds good.
Right. And now I'm going to talk to you.
How you doing, Duncan?
Hey, so I need to show you this.
I'm looking.
Okay, yeah, that's me. I'm the deputy for the BCSO. I am identifying myself to you. So, what's up?
I am contemplating whether it is worth continuing being the mayor of Los Santos County while I witness a bunch of dumb fucks illegalize shit without any investigation, without anything, making me wonder, how are police gonna enjoy their investigations if some dumb fuck just tells the justice, hey, that's coming from the cargo ship, and they're like, oh, you know what, I believe it, let's just illegalize that without any public scrutiny.
And you know, I've been in a hibernation for about since your term started again. You're gonna have to fill me in on what you're talking about.
I'll give you an example. These dumb fucks made PNY cards illegal, which is something that G6 drivers get. Doing that job.
Surely it says you know.
No, it doesn't.
If you're G6, that you can have that.
No, it doesn't. And the principle that they're using, you know, those engine upgrades that you got in the vehicle back there, that's probably going to become illegal too. Why? Because they heard maybe it comes from this way, but no, surely the shit can't come in any other fashion. So now I have to go and do something that's going to fuck over the police department by effectively legalizing everything in Los Santos County unless it's backed by direct legislation. So, but there's no other way to do it.
Legalize everything?
Yeah, I have to. There's no other way to do it.
Were you on about the was it the dirty money charge you're on about?
No, all the stuff that they... So here's the TLDR. We spent the last 3 months working on a document post-conversation with the governor, right?
Right.
We finally get this shit passed. These guys are like, oh yeah, you know, we're going to make sure we keep up communication, whatever. They tell me in mumbles that they're going to change the fine and time. We're like, all right, that makes sense. And then they snuck in a bunch of new charges that go against the fucking Constitution. So, and
wait,
the moment...
So which one were they supposed to just be changing?
Just the fines and times, not introducing new laws.
Oh, not the actual... Okay.
Correct. Because the way that things are supposed to work is, let's say you do an investigation, right? And you find that there's, I don't know, some things that are found inside the Fleeca bank, and that's now contraband. You would come to the mayor's office or the DOJ, you pass the legislation, and now it becomes illegal. And that way that there is scrutiny to make sure that the information is accurate. But instead, these fucking dumb fucks went and just put it in the penal code, but now some of those things that are in the penal code, they can be legally obtained. But the reason that that conversation never happened is because they, you know, they did it behind everyone's back, is the best way I can describe it. So
right, yeah. Okay.
So now I got to spend dozens of hours. I'm gonna go fight that. So
okay. Well, I don't envy that. Good luck with that.
Oh, they're the ones who aren't gonna envy it.
Oh, well, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Nino, just so I don't keep you any longer, I am going to be issuing you a ticket today, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
It's going to be, it is going to be second-degree speeding because the definition for that has changed.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Third degree's gone. Second degree is now up to 30 miles per hour over.
Were you looped into any of these conversations? I know you guys had like a fine in time. Yeah.
To look over. Couple changes were made that I didn't personally go through it with a fine-tooth comb because I was meaning to do that yesterday, but then I guess yesterday was the deadline because it got pushed through. So I briefly looked over it. I saw that a couple of the citations were changing around. I didn't know anything more major than that though until today when I looked at the changes.
Let me ask you a genuine question.
Okay.
If the word of a singular person can cause something to become illegal, don't you think that diminishes, like, law enforcement and your ability to investigate?
Yeah, I do think it takes away from an element of it, yeah.
The thing that crushes me is some of this shit, we had officers actively investigating it. And instead of it seeing the light of day to court, instead of there being a hearing, just because a marshal told their boss, hey, I think this comes from over here, all of a sudden it's magically illegal. Yeah. Kind of diminishes everything San Andreas stands for, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
anyways.
no, I can see your frustration with that. I'd be pissed if that was my investigation and then all of a sudden it's just been changed just like that. Yeah, it's not great. I did see about like the dirty money stuff. I can't work out whether they mean it's inherently illegal now or whether it definitely has to be found.
Oh, it's inherently illegal. Hold on,
that
let me
doesn't
just
make
double
any
check.
sense to me. I mean, I think inked bags are being classed as inherently illegal, which I can kind of get, but
I think it
it's
turns
a security measure that's gone off on them, right? But I think the rest of it we don't, unless it's been found in conjunction with. I don't think
we're on the same page. They literally made the Suarez Act become legal. It's crazy.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I think it
I was supposed to
diminishes
properly
your.
Look through it yesterday, and I didn't get a chance. It had already been pushed. But that's just unfortunately I've been busy all week, so I wasn't able to just properly go through it. I just skimmed over it.
Yeah, we're kind of going through it right now. It's the challenge we're facing is because these things weren't like introduced through the legislative channels, like one thing at a time, right? Like the legal, the Dirty Money Act or the Contraband Act or something like that. That means that our only avenue is effectively legalize the possession of everything, which is going to have a detrimental effect on you guys because there's probably things that were sitting in there from a while ago. Like this is a bad example, but that could potentially legalize guns, right?
Yeah, that is worrying.
But there's no clean way to do it otherwise, right? In the absence of what now exists. I don't know. It's but yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But
Okay.
anyways,
all right, I'm not
such
gonna
is life.
Here. Oh, hang on. Here is your fine.
Awesome, thank you.
But other than that, you are going to be free to go. It is
All
2
right.
points on your license, by the way.
Yeah.
So you should only have 2 now because you were at 0 before, all right?
Easy.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for stopping.
I did want to
Appreciate
chat with you real quick, though.
Me?
No, not you, Vivian.
it.
Why is it never me?
You mind if I step out over here and we walk over to the
Yeah,
corner?
you can step out. That's
All
fine.
right.
I'll be back, Duncan.
All right. I don't expect you to believe what I'm about to tell you, but I'm a strong believer that people should not be speaking about others behind their back if it affects their career.
Okay.
I'm sure you're aware that there was some changes in the LSPD.
Oh yeah. No, I'm aware.
Most of that was a consequence of a series of events that took place. I think the biggest of which was Hades getting mag dumped at a Fleeca bank, alongside Ming Jintai and someone prior to that getting shot down under the allegation that he was shooting cops, when it turns out no one was willing to, actually come clean. Are you aware of those situations?
Was the Hades one? Was that the breach? I wasn't there. I wasn't a part of it. I don't know too much about it. No.
No, it was Ray Romanoff, Fleeca Bank hostage. There was a cadet. They stated that they wanted food for the hostage. The cadet ends up getting Bean. Bean comes on over, and somehow this turned into they're going to kill the hostage. We need the breach. Even though it was just a part of their demands. They said the allegation was that they were trying to get the cops to break off. It turned into a 78s. You'll probably see this when it comes up to court, because I think it will soon.
Right.
But ultimately, everybody gets, they give the hostage, it gets de-escalated, all the people get inside the vehicle, and then they mag dump the car.
Oof.
Yeah. So, I'm getting a series of complaints. I need an answer. Now, I know you're friends with Trig, and this is nothing personal against him. In fact, I want to chat with him about this. The problem that I was facing was that I needed somebody to speak to in the LSPD about these problems. Because I get the calls, it is my job to communicate with the LSPD and get some sort of an answer, right? Whether it's, hey, we're looking into it, there's going to be this, whatever it might be. However, I will say that over the course of 2 weeks, it turned into Nino says fuck Trig, promote Maxwell, where the reality is I just needed somebody of coherent mind to represent the LSPD speaking to me. Does that kind of make sense?
Right.
I just need somebody, right?
Okay.
And Mr. Welcome, now working at Senior Buns, wasn't it. And listen, it is what it is. The guy was sick. It is what it is, but he's not functional, right? This sort of spiraled out of control very quickly because instead of a rational decision being made over this course of a month, because this is transpired over a month, the recommendation was, hey, maybe Maxwell should be given an opportunity, right? Because she's present, she's around. Maybe she can fulfill that role. However, and even if she, and it wasn't even about getting her turned into a captain. It was her given a path by which she could be a mouthpiece when Moss and Peters weren't around. This turned into a high command vote. into whether or not she should be a captain. So right off the bat, things were misconstrued. The captains voted no. I then become the mayor, right? I get voted back in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm relayed this. No one wants her as captain. And I'm sitting back over here like, what the fuck do I, like, why the fuck do I care if she's a captain or not? I just need a person. Over the next 2 weeks, dissent started forming, where instead of a representative of LSPD being present, Trig, yourself, and Stevie started, working senior buns. And I don't hold any animosity around that. I don't know if that's been brought up to you, but I bring it up because these were a part of the conversations. And there was a feeling that, listen, let me just cut to the chase here. You were blamed for what happened to Trig and Stevie and all the drama that was taking place, and that came directly from Moss.
Oh.
Your name was being dragged through the mud. And the reason I say this is I sat down at that beach down at Vespucci, asking, how is a captain of the police force going down to the DOC, telling them that, all kinds of things. It was, there was a whole scene that happened with the DOC. You might remember this. Moss and Peters were down there trying to speak with Trig. He was upset. I don't know what the fuck it was exactly. But in that moment, Moss was talking about quitting. That's concerning to me. Instead of that particular issue being resolved, the communication that was being given to me is that you were the ringleader making Stevie and Trig do these things. Now, once again, I don't expect you to believe this, but that is what was being communicated to me, to the point where I was saying, why is Vivian's name being brought up constantly over this whole bullshit, when all of this simply has to do with, I need a representative in LSPD. So,
right.
Yeah. Now, I will say that I've had a very direct conversation with Turner on these matters. Because, quite frankly, it's not lost on me that both Maxwell and yourself are the reason that Shift 1's been doing well. So, and I don't want any of the rumors. I don't know what else kind of lies were taking place. I mean, let me put it this way. Shit got so bad, I eventually learned that I was being lied to. Different stories were being told to different people in order to get on their good side. Trig was being promised the assistant chief of police, while simultaneously I was being told that he was going to get suspended, which, mind you, I didn't even necessarily want. I just needed somebody that could take his role while he was sick. I caught on to these lies. I called out both Moss and Peters, and Moss quit. So, really that simple.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
the whole, it's really funny, actually, because the whole senior buns thing, so I'm not, I don't have a negative feeling towards Maxwell being captain at all. I ended up following Trig because Trig is a very close friend of mine. He's one of the closest people that I've got in the state. and it was the way in which Maxwell's promotion was done. It basically slated Trig and Peters and their contribution to build up Maxwell for her promotion. And I didn't agree with that, and Trig was upset by the speech, basically. The speech alone just basically sounded like, yeah, so because Trig and Peters can't do this, we're putting Maxwell there. That's what the summary of Moss's speech was. So Trig was naturally upset, and I went to keep a friend company, and we worked a shift at Senior Buns. And honestly, just being able to chat to people was so nice. I still do it now. I still do the occasional shift at Senior Buns now because it's such a good change of pace. And it is also something that I've kind of, not necessarily with Senior Buns, but I've wanted to do for a while, was to get like a group from LSPD, maybe once a week, run like a coffee morning or something somewhere. That's what I wanted to do, so that people could see, you know, we're human too. We're not necessarily constantly always on duty. And also,
I don't fully believe that.
If you know you've got a command member from LSPD serving you dinner, I just thought that was a pretty funny thought.
I think my general concern, and look, I totally respect that. I think my general concern, and why I even bring this up, is what should have happened, dialing back to where all this started, is I presented a problem. I need somebody to manage this problem, right, that people are complaining about. And they do it through me. We need a spokesperson for LSPD. But somehow it devolved into, quite frankly, high command pitting their own officers against each other instead of solving the fucking problem. I still feel really bad for Trig because of the conversations I've had. It almost seems like I had a problem with him being, like, you know, sick, as opposed to needing someone to fulfill his role. I'm going to take it an extent further. And this is where, like, some of the lies got caught up. I'm very well aware that there was a vote that had taken place. The reason why Maxwell was promoted, and you can ask this to Turner, is we'd actually tabled that entire conversation, and I had brought Turner in kind of as an advisor, because I don't know what goes on in the police department. He's got experience, and he can kind of be that interface, right? I can bring the civ stuff. He can filter it. He can then communicate that to the police department. When me and Moss were talking, this is like 2 days before a promotion, Turner asked the question, because she was having problems like having somebody that could fulfill the role while Trig was sick. And she didn't have a lot of good things to say about him. She didn't know what he was doing, and at least that's what was being portrayed to us. And Turner asked the question, who are your superstars in Shift 1? And she responded, Maxwell. And Turner goes, well, why is she not a captain then? And she had an aha moment and then promoted her. Now, I don't think it's fair that that was not communicated out. What it turns out is that the narrative started getting spun that I told her to promote Maxwell because I am friends with him. So this is the kind of behavior that was going on, and I caught wind of it. So I've been trying to do my best to try to highlight some of these things so that if there are grievances among some of y'all, right, I can at least shed some light into what was actually taking place in the background. Because at the end of the day, I do want the LSPD to succeed, right?
Yeah.
And
same.
I don't think it can succeed if there's animosity between members of command. You know what I mean? We may not always agree, right? You and I don't always see eye to eye, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But that's normal.
Exactly.
But anyways,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I appreciate you for letting me know.
absolutely, of course.
Yeah, we'll just see how things go.
I did recommend you for lieutenant for what it's worth. Hot to God.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, hopefully things will start smoothing
Don't
out
think
a
the
little bit
9
now.
months. I think they will. How's
Yeah.
Turner been?
I think Tanner's been fine. Honestly, I haven't really spoken to him that much. I've just been getting on with doing what I need to do out on patrol and stuff. I know he's been meeting with captains pretty regularly though. So I think
Mayor, thank you for the
communication's
25
definitely there,
months.
and I have seen him a lot as well. So I know that he's
Cheers,
I know he's
man.
watching. He asked me about PD Toe today.
Mm.
I did direct him to you though, because I don't know why it didn't end up going through a while ago. Was it you that Oshira met with, or
Yes.
was it Max? Okay, it was you. Okay.
Yeah. There was a lot of things I was promised over the last 6 months. It was PD toe training, all kinds of shit. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's good to try to restart those efforts.
Yeah, we could definitely do with some sort of like PD toe. It's
Yeah.
something for like potentials to do, recruits to do, but it's also some people just want to do PD toe. You know, I've come across a couple of people like that. There was a long time, I don't know if you remember him, but there was a guy called Billy who used to do that. That's all he ever wanted to do was PD toe.
Yes, I remember. I actually passed the toe act for him. Something happened to Billy though.
Okay.
It's very similar to JJ at the kebab shop, except JJ stuck around.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time,
Alright.
Vivian.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your.
I do want to. I do want to talk to Trig at some point, but you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully that can be soon.
Yeah. Well. How would you feel if Turner was remain chief? Between us.
I think he'd do a decent job. I've never had an issue with Turner. I know he's a very. Although I haven't really seen so much of that this time around, it's definitely come back with a few of the, you know, don't run in the hallways and stuff like that. That people are like crapping themselves over. But I worked with Turner a long time ago. I didn't know him too well then because he was shift 3.
Yeah.
But I think he could do a decent job. He's definitely been taking things on board as opposed to just jumping in and trying to change everything.
That's
doing
good.
Things tactfully. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Not saying it's gonna happen, but you know, I gotta.
No, but yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. You have a
All
good
right.
day.
You take care. It was a good conversation. I've been meaning to talk to Vivian about that for a moment because, you know, her name was dragged through the mud for a minute, but I also don't remember all the details behind it. I know there's some other shit I left out. I remember feeling really bad about it because I'm like, why is Vivian's name coming out of nowhere? Where did she come into? No, I've been meaning to talk to her after the meetings, but yeah, I got billed. We might need to change this to 55. Holy shit, you can't actually... Wait, isn't the speed limit 55? What was I going? Oh, 61. Right. Oh, they got rid of 3rd degree. Oh, that's right. Okay, that makes sense.